Hey everyone, welcome to another Explainer. It typically takes over a decade and literally billions of dollars just to bring one single new drug to the market. It's wild. Today, we're looking at a monumental shift happening in a field that impacts every single one of us at some point, the pharmaceutical industry. We're talking about the total digital transformation of medicine, how artificial intelligence and big data are teaming up to completely rewrite the rules from the ground up. I am so pumped to unpack exactly how this tech is reshaping the future of our healthcare.
But before we get to the cool solutions on the horizon, we've got to ask a tough question. How do we actually fix a broken drug discovery process? And yeah, broken might sound kind of harsh, but the reality? Finding and developing new pharmaceuticals the traditional way is incredibly slow and honestly, shockingly expensive. It's this massive bottleneck that's literally holding back life-saving treatments.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll cover the drug discovery problem, AI enters the lab, the power of big data, the smart pharma ecosystem, and finally, overcoming the digital challenges. Section 1. The drug discovery problem. To really appreciate this massive digital paradigm shift, we first have to look at what exactly isn't working today. For decades, medicinal chemistry has basically been stuck in the era of trial and error. Think about that for a second. We rely on highly resource-intensive physical methods like high-throughput screening to test thousands of therapeutic molecules in a lab, essentially just crossing our fingers and hoping to find a match. It is costly, it is painfully slow, and it frequently produces less accurate results. You're blindly testing compounds. It's literally like looking for a needle in a haystack by picking up and examining every single piece of hay.
Section 2. AI enters the lab.
We're shifting gears here. If the old way was walking around blindfolded, artificial intelligence is our new digital compass. It helps researchers navigate this incredibly complex universe of chemical matching. It is a night and day difference. On one side, you have the traditional approach, costly, slow, trial and error, totally reliant on physical screening. On the other side, the new AI approach, predictive models, machine learning, natural language processing, and targeted computational screens. Instead of blind physical testing, we're using advanced algorithms to precisely analyze massive datasets and zero in on targeted candidates.
AI has this incredible predictive power, and it does all this before a chemical ever even hits a real lab. Take deep learning, or DL. It uses artificial neural networks to accurately forecast if a molecule will actually be effective. Then you have NLP, natural language processing, which pulls hidden insights out of unstructured data like old books and patents, so scientists don't have to read them manually. AI can even predict a molecule's ADME profile. That's its absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion in the human body. And it uses QSAR modeling for rapid chemical pattern matching to predict exactly how a molecule will behave. It's synthesizing and testing unseen molecules entirely inside a computer.
Section 3. The power of big data.
Now, if AI is the high-performance engine of this new era, big data is absolutely the high-octane fuel running it. These AI models are starving for information. Turning all that raw data into actual cures relies on 5 crucial steps. First, data generation, creating the raw info. Second, acquisition, gathering and sorting those massive volumes. Third, storage, using huge infrastructures to keep it secure. Fourth, analytics, deploying machine learning to extract the actual value. And fifth, visualization. That 5-step journey is what turns overwhelming digital noise into real, actionable clinical insights.
It's a beautifully structured pipeline. It all starts with data generation on one end, pulling in things like audio-visual reports, remote sensing equipment, real-time apps, and the internet. It then flows right through the acquisition phase of filtering and cleaning, drops into massive storage infrastructures, and finally feeds into advanced analytics powered by computing intelligence.
But where is all this data actually coming from in the real world? It's not just abstract numbers on a server. It comes from electronic health records shared across hospitals. It comes from high-throughput screening outputs. And honestly, it comes from some incredibly futuristic portable sensors. We're talking about smart bandages that can literally monitor the pH and temperature of a wound's fluids in real time, or microneedle biosensors right on the skin that can detect cancer biomarkers like tyrosine. We are constantly feeding highly specific, real-time biological data into this massive system.
Section 4. The smart pharma ecosystem. Of course, a technological leap like this isn't just about flashy software. It demands an entire interconnected web of human and structural stakeholders working together to actually deliver these drugs to the public. You've got governments setting the overarching policies, drug regulators strictly enforcing the rules for trials, manufacturers producing the medicine and setting the prices, and pharmaceutical traders acting as the vital conduit to prescribers. Every single node in this network has to adapt to the AI and big data revolution for the whole thing to function safely.
But amidst all those powerful organizations and huge data flows, who is actually at the center? Well, it's the patient. Patients are the pivot point. It is surprisingly easy to forget that when pharma marketing focuses so heavily on doctors and wholesalers. But the patient is the ultimate end user. They're the ones taking the medication. Any successful outcome-driven AI innovation absolutely must stay intensely focused on the patient's actual needs, their outcomes, and their safety.
Section 5. Overcoming the digital challenges.
As much as I love hyping up this innovation, we have to keep it real and look at the friction and the structural hurdles here. It's not a magic wand. So, a crucial hurdle we face is the black box problem. This is a huge issue in machine learning right now. It's a situation where an AI system takes in data and spits out a decision, but the complex pathways it used to reach that conclusion, totally invisible to us. The neural networks manipulate data through so many complex layers that we literally can't always explain why the AI made its choice. And in medicine, where human lives are on the line, that lack of transparency makes it really hard for doctors and regulators to fully trust the algorithm's predictions.
And beyond the black box, there are other severe industry roadblocks. We're looking at incredibly high costs to acquire clean, reliable data. There's a massive shortage of appropriately skilled AI personnel to oversee these platforms. We also have to face the painful reality of potential job losses in traditional pharma sectors as automation takes over. There are major structural challenges regarding algorithmic bias and ensuring fundamental fairness in how these systems are trained. And technically speaking, tools like QSAR modeling still have heavy limitations if they aren't backed up by real-world experimental validation. Because at the end of the day, AI is only as good as the data you feed it, and it absolutely still requires human oversight.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to chew on. As AI completely rewrites the rules of medicine, how do we balance this rapid, mind-blowing innovation with human transparency and ethics? The potential to cure diseases faster and create hyper-personalized medicine is truly unmatched in human history. But navigating that balancing act between automation and maintaining our humanity is a challenge we're all going to have to face as this tech matures. It's a fascinating space to watch for sure. Thank you so much for exploring this with me today. Keep asking questions, and I'll see you in the next explainer.